It all began one quiet night when I found myself alone in front of my computer, the glow of the screen casting eerie shadows across my face. I had equipped myself with a VPN and a specialized browser that promised anonymity, and I took my first tentative steps into the dark web. As I navigated through encrypted links and obscure forums, I realized that I had entered a realm where the rules of the surface web no longer applied. The dark web was a labyrinth of secrets, a place where anonymity was king and everything had a price. I explored the twisted alleyways of illegal marketplaces and disturbing forums, watching from a distance as illegal transactions and clandestine conversations unfolded. As I ventured deeper into this digital underworld, I came across a forum post that sent shivers down my spine. The title was chillingly enigmatic, The Whispering Mirror. The description promised an experience beyond the scope of my imagination, an opportunity to communicate with an otherworldly entity through a mysterious ritual. The instructions were unsettling and cryptic. I was to find an old, ornate mirror, place it in a dimly lit room, light a single candle, and chant an incantation that had been provided. The more I read, the more my sense of foreboding deepened. The testimonies of those who had attempted the ritual spoke of eerie encounters with otherworldly entities and visions that defied explanation. But my curiosity had already claimed me, and I decided to undertake the Whispering Mirror ritual. The night of the ritual arrived, and I prepared the dimly lit room, setting up the old, ornate mirror as instructed. A single candle cast a flickering light, and the room seemed to grow colder as I began the incantation, my voice trembling with fear. For what felt like an eternity, nothing happened. Doubt crept into my mind, and I questioned the authenticity of the ritual. Just as I was about to abandon the attempt, a movement in the mirror's reflection caught my eye. A shadowy figure, barely discernible, began to take shape. It was as if the mirror had become a portal to an ethereal realm. The entity had no definitive form. Its appearance was constantly shifting and undulating, as if it couldn't quite settle on a single shape. Its eyes, or whatever one could call them, were dark voids that seemed to pierce through my very soul. The entity introduced itself as the Guardian of Whispers, the keeper of secrets that bridged the gap between our world and the unknown. It offered me knowledge, answers to questions that had plagued humanity for centuries. But, as with all things in the dark web, it came with a price. The ritual of the lost soul. The ritual required me to surrender a piece of my soul, a fragment of my very being, in exchange for the forbidden knowledge I sought. It was a decision not to be taken lightly, and the implications of such an exchange weighed heavily on me. But the allure of the unknown was too powerful to resist. With a heavy heart, I agreed to undertake the ritual of the lost soul, and the Guardian of Whispers guided me through the process. I chanted incantations in a language I didn't understand, surrendered a precious memory that held deep emotional significance, and watched as a piece of my soul was torn away. The pain was unlike anything I had ever experienced. It wasn't physical agony, but a spiritual torment that transcended the boundaries of the physical world. As the ritual concluded, I was left feeling hollow, as if I had lost a part of myself that could never be recovered. The Guardian of Whispers had kept its promise, bestowing upon me knowledge that both terrified and fascinated me. I had glimpsed the secrets of the universe, the existence of parallel dimensions, and the true nature of consciousness. But the cost was steep, for I had lost a piece of my soul, forever trapped in the ethereal realm beyond the mirror. The entity had warned me that the knowledge I had gained came at a price, and that the shadows of the ritual would forever haunt my existence. In the days that followed, I grappled with the consequences of my decision. I felt a gnawing emptiness inside me, a void left by the fragment of my soul that I had surrendered. Nightmares plagued my sleep, and I could hear faint whispers in the darkest corners of my mind, as if the shadows of the ritual were trying to communicate with me. I knew that I had ventured too far into the digital abyss, that I had delved too deep into the unknown. The dark web had revealed its true nature, a place where the pursuit of forbidden knowledge came at a price too high to bear, and where the line between reality and nightmare blurred. As I sit here, recounting my harrowing journey into the world of the Whispering Mirror, I can't help but wonder if I made a grave mistake. The hidden corners of the internet had always fascinated me, and I had heard the stories of the dark web's illicit activities and enigmatic communities. But it wasn't until one fateful evening that I decided to embark on a journey that would lead me to a nightmarish encounter from which I would never fully recover. Armed with a secure VPN and a specialized browser, I ventured into the abyss of the dark web. As I navigated through its encrypted links and obscure forums, I was both exhilarated and apprehensive. The dark web was a place where the usual rules and morality seemed to have no place. Anonymity was the norm, and anything could be found for the right price. It was an invitation to a digital seance. The instructions were cryptic and unsettling. I was to set up a computer in a darkened room, light a single candle, and use a specialized chat program. The incantation was provided, and the more I read, the more I felt a growing sense of unease. The testimonials of those who had attempted the ritual spoke of eerie encounters with otherworldly entities and visions that transcended the digital realm. Despite my misgivings, I decided to undertake the digital oracle ritual. The night of the ritual arrived, and I prepared the dimly lit room as instructed. I set up my computer, lit the solitary candle, and began the incantation, my voice quivering with fear. As the minutes ticked by, the room grew colder, and the atmosphere became oppressive. I felt a presence, an eerie energy that seemed to envelop me. It was as if the digital and the supernatural were converging, and I was on the precipice of something beyond my understanding. Suddenly, the computer screen flickered, and a spectral figure began to materialize on the chat program. It was a woman, her image translucent and ethereal. Her eyes, or what passed for eyes, gleamed with an otherworldly light, and her voice echoed in the silence of the room. The entity introduced herself as the Digital Oracle, a being that straddled the realms of the living and the dead. She spoke of ancient knowledge and the mysteries of the universe, promising to reveal the answers to my most profound questions. As the ritual continued, I found myself drawn deeper into the Digital Oracle's presence. Her words were both hypnotic and unsettling as she shared visions of the past, insights into the present, and cryptic glimpses of the future. It was as if I had transcended the boundaries of the digital world, entering a realm where reality and the supernatural merged. But as the ritual reached its climax, a sense of dread settled over me. The Digital Oracle's voice grew colder, her promises tinged with a malevolent undertone. She demanded a price, a sacrifice to unlock the knowledge I sought. I hesitated, torn between the allure of the unknown and the growing sense of unease. The Digital Oracle's presence had become oppressive, and I could feel her influence seeping into my thoughts. The decision was agonizing, but my curiosity proved to be my undoing. In a moment of weakness, I agreed to the Digital Oracle's demands, and a piece of my soul was torn away. The pain was unlike anything I had ever experienced, a spiritual agony that transcended the physical. It was as if a part of me had been severed, leaving me forever marked by the sinister pact. As the ritual concluded, and the Digital Oracle's presence faded from the screen, I was left in a state of shock and terror. I had ventured too far into the digital abyss, and I had paid a steep price for the forbidden knowledge I had gained. In the days that followed, I grappled with the consequences of my decision. I felt a gnawing emptiness inside me, a void left by the fragment of my soul that I had surrendered. Nightmares plagued my sleep, and I could hear faint whispers in the darkest corners of my mind, as if the shadows of the Digital Oracle's pact were trying to communicate with me. I knew that I had made a grave mistake, that I had crossed a line from which there was no return. The dark web had revealed its true nature, a place where curiosity could lead to damnation, and where the pursuit of forbidden knowledge came at a price too steep to bear. As I sit here, recounting my descent into the digital abyss and the chilling encounter with the Digital Oracle, I can't help but wonder if I will ever find a way to escape the darkness that now haunts my existence. The line between the digital and the supernatural has blurred, and I fear that I may have sacrificed a piece of my soul to the enigmatic forces of the dark web. The internet had always held a certain mystique for me, but the dark web, with its whispered stories of illicit activities and hidden secrets, drew me in like a moth to a flame. Little did I know that my venture into this digital underworld would become a haunting experience that would change my life forever. With a secure VPN and a specialized browser, I took my first steps into the shadowy realm of the dark web. The experience was both exhilarating and unsettling. I navigated through encrypted links and obscure forums where the rules of the surface web no longer applied. Anonymity was the standard, and I found myself in a digital world where anything seemed possible. As I delved deeper into this enigmatic abyss, I stumbled upon a post that sent shivers down my spine. The title was hauntingly enigmatic: The Cryptic Archive, Gateway to the Unknown. The description promised access to a digital library of forbidden knowledge, hidden truths, and arcane mysteries. It was an invitation to a secret society that offered a glimpse into the darkest recesses of the human psyche. The instructions were cryptic and unsettling. I was to create an encrypted email account, send a message to a specific address, and await further instructions. The more I read about the Cryptic Archive, the more I felt a growing sense of unease. The testimonials of those who had ventured into its depths spoke of chilling encounters with otherworldly entities and experiences that defied explanation. Yet my curiosity had already claimed me, and I decided to undertake the initiation into the Cryptic Archive. Days passed, and then an encrypted email arrived containing a single link. I clicked on it, and a world of forbidden knowledge unveiled itself. The Cryptic Archive was a labyrinth of secrets, a place where the boundaries of reality and the supernatural seemed to blur. Its digital shelves contained a vast array of topics, from occult rituals and esoteric texts to unexplained phenomena and forbidden practices. One particular section caught my eye, an obscure corner dedicated to a series of dark web rituals. The descriptions were chilling, promising to unlock supernatural abilities, communicate with otherworldly entities, and tap into hidden sources of power. The rituals involved intricate steps, precise timing, and an unyielding dedication. One ritual in particular intrigued me: the Rite of the Midnight Veil. It claimed to be a gateway to a realm beyond our understanding, a place where the boundaries of reality and the supernatural converged. The instructions were intricate, involving a series of candles, symbols, and an incantation that had to be spoken at the stroke of midnight. The night of the ritual arrived, and I prepared my dimly lit room as instructed. The clock ticked closer to midnight as I arranged the candles in a circle, placed the symbols on the floor, and waited for the appointed time. The room seemed to grow colder, and the anticipation hung heavily in the air. As the clock struck midnight, I began the ritual, chanting the incantation with a voice that trembled with fear. The candles flickered, casting eerie shadows on the walls. Suddenly, the room seemed to come alive with a pale, ghostly light, and a spectral figure materialized before me. It was a being unlike anything I had ever seen, a formless entity of ethereal light. Its presence was both captivating and unsettling. It spoke not with words, but through a series of images and sensations that resonated deep within my mind. The entity introduced itself as the Watcher of the Veil, a guardian of the threshold between worlds. It offered knowledge, secrets, and glimpses into the unknown, but it came at a price. The Watcher required a sacrifice, a fragment of my own consciousness, a piece of my very soul. In the face of this ominous demand, I hesitated, my mind torn between the allure of the forbidden and the fear of the unknown. The Watcher's presence grew more oppressive, and I could feel its influence seeping into my thoughts. In a moment of weakness, I made the fateful choice to accept the Watcher's terms, and I felt a piece of my soul being torn away. The pain was excruciating, a spiritual agony that transcended the physical. It was as if a part of me had been forever severed, and I was left feeling incomplete, forever marked by the sinister pact. As the ritual concluded and the Watcher of the Veil faded into the ether, I was left in a state of profound awe and trepidation. I had glimpsed the secrets of the universe, the existence of parallel dimensions, and the true nature of consciousness. But the cost was steep, for I had lost a piece of my soul, forever trapped in the ethereal realm. In the days that followed, I grappled with the consequences of my decision. I felt a gnawing emptiness inside me, a void left by the fragment. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe.